just near where that big kangaroo was. A great big red fox just got up and walked away. I've never seen a fox in the bush. We don't have them down in Tasmania. But they're a big problem up here. Pigs have been digging around in here. As I'm walking around, exploring the bush, I noticed that it's very hard not to make noise. It's very hard to not move some rocks under your feet or roll a stick. And it made me think, humans have weirdly big feet. Like big, and like big floppy paddles. Like, how are you supposed to walk quietly when you got these flippers at the end of your ankles that make so much ground contact? Like most animals, hooved animals, everything in between, they're mostly walking on the forefoot, the ball of their foot. It'd be like walking around on tiptoe all the time. Of course they're quieter. It's not fair. Some along the back of the property now. Just following these fire trails, just seeing what the land looks like, and we've gone from a pretty dense she oak forest to a little bit more open, a few more eucalypts. It's rockier again, where it was sandier and quieter walking back there. I haven't seen or heard much. Some big kangaroos in an adjacent property. Seen some game trails. I think there might be goat out here too. But the only wildlife I've seen so far on this property is one happy looking duck and a big lush red fox. That thing was awesome. But it saw me a long way off and skittered off. They make some big termite mounds out here though. I know they get bigger inland, but they're big. It's pretty cool. So I've come up a slope. You kind of are at the top of this ridge line. And it's a bit of a mixed forest, but good amount of she oak, mixed for a quiet ground. I've seen some goat scat over here too, so that's something to keep an eye out for. I decided to find a little level spot to make a coffee, have a bit of a snack, and then I'm going to work my way down into this looks like a river valley. Might just be a creek down there, might be nothing anymore. But I'll work my way down there, and then work my way back towards where I set up base camp. Alright, I'm heading down into this valley, following a bit of a game trail. I just want to get down by the water, or where water should be, and see if anything's hanging out down there. You know, there's a big difference between what I'd consider traditional backpacking and hunting backpacking. And like, you know, I worked as a guide in Tasmania and done a fair few trail miles. And the gear selection's different. You know, you're not looking for what's lightest when you're out here actually pushing through the bush, because you want what's most robust, but you don't want it to be heavy, which is a challenge. And you don't make distance in the same way, because you're going slowly so that you can pay more attention. You're not trying to clear ground in the same way. You're trying to observe more ground. Be vigilant, seeing what you can see over the greatest area while not making too much disturbance. So it's a different vibe. It's cool though. Rain's here. The rain's really setting in. It's pretty constant. It's not too heavy yet, but it's a soaking rain, which is a bummer. This rain was supposed to hold off until this evening and go overnight, and then supposed to get up to 30 mils tomorrow. But it's really raining, and that is a bit frustrating. So I've worked my way out of that little valley to a bit more open country, so I can make a bit more speed back to base camp if needed. Slowly head that way, but at this point, my fletchings are going to get too wet to fly. Oh, yep, here we go. Alright, we're going to start working towards camp and see how things go. The rain's pretty much stopped, which is awesome. So I'm not really rushing back now. Having a little look around. And I just saw up here ahead of me a lyrebird dash recover, which is pretty cool. If you haven't seen what a lyrebird is, lyre is in the instrument, Lyre. Check them out. Incredible mimics. They can make all sorts of sounds, and they can, well, what they do is they also make nests that are color-coded. I found one in Victoria once where it was all blue, so it took little bits of rubbish, like bottle caps, milk bottle caps, and made like this pattern around the ground, the nest on the ground, and it was just blue, the whole nest, and like there was like blue leading up to it. It was really cool. Cool birds. usually when I'm doing bush things. The first day, first few days, I try to bring fresh food. Especially if I don't have to carry it all. Fresh food's heavy. I don't want to carry that. So I'll eat dehydrated and freeze-dried stuff all day. But first day, second day, I've had 4-5-day-old backpack cheese. And that's when it's at its best. But anyway, first day food. Been out wandering for about 5 or so hours now. And I came back to base camp. I'm going to go check out a different quadrant of this block a little later. But lunch. Pork pie. One of the local grocery stores had one pork pie left in the deli. And I picked that up yesterday, I think it was. Popped that in the fridge, and this morning, 4:15 a.m. when I got up, made sure I packed that pork pie in my bag. Good. Traditional English pork pies are cold. It's a thick, a short pastry. It's chunky, and it's basically like spicy pork mince that's been wrapped up for the day in an edible wrapper. A great lunch. There's pros and cons to using a tarp as a shelter. Pros: fresh air. It's lightweight. It's versatile. I used trekking poles to set up this. But you can hang it from a tree. You can use sticks. It's pretty handy. And even with the poles, which I don't really need for trekking around this area, it's still lighter than a tent. Cons: bugs. I didn't set it up very tall, so I don't have any space to really sit up or stand. I did bring this cool bug net that I use. String a piece of paracord across from the pole to pole, and then have this bug net, which I'm grateful for. Guess I'll chill here while it rains a bit. Well, the rain's held off. It rained on and off for the last couple hours. So I took a nap. Now I'm back in the bush, checking out a different section of this block. I'll probably wander around here for another hour or two. Looks like there's a little valley over this hill. So maybe we have another creek bed down here. You can see the drop off that rises up on the other side. So we might scour this from up top with the binos. But about an hour before sunset, I want to be hiding away over by that dam to see if anything comes in for a drink. We'll see what we see. So I haven't seen much of anything for game today. Wildlife. Saw some big kangaroos in the neighboring block early in the day. Down in that little creek valley in the morning, I saw a couple small red kangaroo. A lot of birds. A lot of animal sign. I think maybe the weather's playing a part in this. Also, you can see everything's pretty closed in. So it's really hard to see much beyond, at best, a couple hundred meters. So I can't really get a good vantage point to scout much. It's just kind of still hunting. Find an area, listen, look, walk through, see what I can see. It's been very quiet today. sun's gonna set in the next hour. So I'm just gonna wait and see what shows up. The sun's set, and spent the better part of an hour sitting on a little log in the scrub around that dam. Not a single thing came through. Starting to get a bit dark, so I'm gonna head back to camp and make some dinner. Hey, Coach Josh, what does it mean to be strong for life? Yeah, that's a good question. To me, it is this. It is being able to put on a backpack, grab a bow, drive out in the middle of the bush before the sun rises, and spend from dawn until dusk wandering and exploring and seeing what there is to see, and to feel good at the end of the day. It's being able to do what you want with your life, to really be able to take advantage of those opportunities. Take that trip, climb that mountain, go exploring. The sun's coming up. It's about 6 a.m. I got up with the kookaburras just before dawn, had my cup sitting a bit further back than I was yesterday, but a bit overlooking that little dam. Because I haven't seen a lot of animals out here, but a lot of animal sign. And a lot of the pig sign was right through here. So I'm going to wait for the next hour-ish and see what I can see. If anything comes through, great. If not, I'll go eat some food, pack up camp, and go scout another quarter of the block on the way back to the car. I think it's a good plan. I've never been a morning person. Even as a kid. Terrible in mornings. Runs in my family on my mom's side. My dad? He'd get up at 4 a.m. every day, just get going. He used to wake up to him playing the guitar and singing John Denver, which as a high schooler was rough. But I don't have that gene. My mom, my grandma, all up that line were slow movers in the morning, which is why I do most of my training in the afternoon. But I love the peace. It's still. It's nice. Camp's packed up. It's a little windier today. I haven't seen the rain that was expected. But I'm going to make my way through the bush, heading in the general direction of the car. Got the full camp on my back. So we're not going to move super fast. We're just going to meander. See what we see. There is a lot of cutting grass. This is sort of a different sort of terrain than some of the other sections. There's just so much of these sedges, this cutting grass, which is kind of cool. But of course, it's loud to walk through. Rustle, rustle, rustle. And anything could be hiding in here. Check out the size of this fresh wombat den. It's recently dug up. See, marked as territory. Huge. It's really cool to see the forest transitions. This is all she oak. And then all eucalypt. And this is a ridge line. So this ridge here is going to dip down. It's one of the few spots with a decent vantage point. So I'm going to come up to the ridge here. Tuck in behind some of these trees and rocks. And glass the area a little bit. Check it out, I found a king termite mound. This thing had a whole tree in it. From 100 meters from finally seen some pigs. But I think they saw me too. But we'll see. When I was coming over that hill, they must have saw me when I was coming over that hill, or heard me. So I come over the hill and I see, I think it was 3 pigs, and I can see my car, and the road's 30 meters that way. And so I attempted to stop, dropped all my gear, came in, because they just kind of came into this scrub here, but not seeing or hearing anything. They could have just crossed the road. What are the odds? Spend 2 days wandering around looking for pigs. They're waiting for me at the car. I can't believe that I didn't see any pigs, which is the whole purpose of coming out here. In 2 days and combing 100 acres. And then I'm heading back to the car, assuming all the animals are bedded down for the day. Getting that time of day. And right there. God, it's probably like 50 meters. 3 pigs. And I just catch the back ends of them as I'm coming over this hill, and then they're gone. And I spent the better part of an hour combing this little triangle here. There's a little bit of a driveway. Here's a road here, and then a fire trail that cuts across there. It's not big, it's just scrubby. They must have just gone across the road. Well, I tried. Now it's time to reassess some of this gear and fine-tune my pack systems, and then back to the archery range.